Using deep learning for computer vision application. In this video, I'm going to show you how to compile and build OpenCV library version 4 in order to use deep learning model for computer vision application. You can download and see the presentation, this presentation file, and please subscribe the YouTube channel in order to see the latest video in this area. Here our YouTube channel and other group you can join. Also you can download all the slides from SlideShare, and also the source code of each project and the file that we showing here you can download free on the GitHub. You can go to our GitHub link and download the source code. Okay, now I'm going to download the OpenCV version 4 in 2018. This is the latest version of the OpenCV library in order to use for computer vision application. It supports Caffe, TensorFlow, Torch, and .NET. Also a lot of improvement compared to the OpenCV version 3. You go to the GitHub OpenCV, download from the OpenCV and OpenCV contribute. Then you go to you can create any folder in order to use this project. I'm going to create a folder OpenCV4 inside the C and paste these two files, and these are the zip. You can unzip it and okay, this is the contribute and this one for OpenCV master. Then you need the CMake in order to create a Visual Studio project for OpenCV. Okay, here I create a build folder in order to put all the compiled version of the OpenCV files inside this folder. Okay, now we open the CMake. If you have a NVIDIA GPU, you need to install CUDA before compiling your OpenCV. Here the source code, we go and give the master OpenCV, and here for the build we're going to place it here. Later on we need to add the contribute inside the compiling version. So inside the contribute we have a module. We must give this path to the CMake in order to build OpenCV with contribute library. Now press the configure. You can select your version of the Visual Studio. We install version 2017 and we want to use 64-bit. Okay, now waiting to download several requirements for the building the OpenCV version 4. The OpenCV version 4 supports most of the deep learning framework like Caffe, TensorFlow, and you can download pre-trained model also and use inside your image processing application. For compiling based on the build OpenCV version 4 for Visual Studio 2017 on Windows 10 64-bit. We use the latest version of OpenCV. Then we go to the GitHub, download the OpenCV and OpenCV contribute. Create a build folder in order to put all the build file inside this folder. Use CMake to create a Visual Studio project. And for adding the OpenCV contribute master module inside the config and configure again. After finishing, you can open the OpenCV Visual Studio project file in order to build the OpenCV library. If you have an NVIDIA GPU, you must install the CUDA. If you install the CUDA, you can select the GPU version of the libraries in order to be faster. In some case, more algorithm you can run with faster and real-time process. Here in this machine we have a NVIDIA GPU and we install the CUDA latest version, so we can select the GPU version of some algorithm. Then for build, we need to build, debug, release and install, set environment variable on Windows. Then set up the project file in your image processing or computer vision application in order to use OpenCV library. I will show you a step by step. And here is some example. Okay, now finish. So we search the contribute. Extra module. OpenCV extra module. We can give the path of the modules for the OpenCV contribute here. Now for the GPU, or OpenCV. OpenCV DNN is using for deep learning module. You must select this one. Okay, now configure again. Here downloading several libraries from the internet in order to build the contribute version of modules. Now every configure is done, we click on generate. It will generate the Visual Studio project file for us. In order to compile the OpenCV library, later on we can use DLL in the computer vision or image processing application that we need. Okay, generating is done. Now we go to the build folder and open the OpenCV project file. This is Visual Studio project. Okay, make sure the H64 selected here because we select the Visual Studio 64-bit and we want to compile the OpenCV based on the 64-bit. You must wait until everything done here, then you can build, debug, release, and after that install. Here our YouTube channel. Please subscribe and you will see a lot of video related to computer vision application. Still is working. Several applications that we will show you how to build and run on your system related to computer vision and the deep learning based on the TensorFlow and the Caffe, like style transfer, that transfer your image based on the style that you give, face recognition, face attribute, another project that I will show you. Also, I will show you several different programs based on the reinforcement learning and also some game that we can run based on the reinforcement learning in order to machine learn how to write good agent. Also self-driving car, we run the simulated version here and we write a program in order to have a self-driving car. Another project like image colorize, from the black and white image go to the color image. And video search, video analytic, hand recognition, OCR, license plate recognition system, and even image generation. Create an image based on your data set and everything based on the face attribute, face emotion, and also age, and so on. Okay, now is ready to build. First, for debug, we create and build the solution for debug. It takes several minutes to finish. Okay, now the debug mode is finished. Now we go to release. We also need to build the OpenCV for the release version 64-bit, and then now just waiting to update the project file. Okay, if you go to the build, everything is okay. We must wait to be ready. Okay, now ready, and select the build solution. Also this one takes a few minutes depending on your computer. Then we can go for install. Okay, now debug and release compilation finished. Now we go for install and build install. When you build install, all the DLL and the library related to the OpenCV compiled version goes to the install folder. Okay. Make sure you build install for the debug and release in order to have both. Okay, this is the DLL. If ended with D, which means for debug, is doesn't ended with D, which means for release mode. And this is for release mode, and we select debug and select build for debug. Now you will see the ended 400D for debug. Okay. Now, which means the both debug and release mode is ready. Later on, for your project, for computer vision project, you just need to copy the install folder on your project file or on your operating system. I copy this one, go to C and paste it here. This is OpenCV for source. And because this project is okay, the install, change it to OpenCV for. Okay. Now, if you don't want to copy the DLL inside your Visual Studio project, you just need to add this one to the variable environment. System variable environment, and go to environment variables, go to the path, and add this URL here, So later on, when you write a OpenCV project in Visual Studio, you don't need to copy the DLL inside your OpenCV project. Okay, now finish. Let's start with the test of the OpenCV. Okay, we set up a Visual Studio project. And here we create a new project based on the C++. Here we mention the name, for example, test1. I change the folder to the folder of OpenCV. I make it here. Okay, this is the test1 project. Make sure your project is 64-bit. This is, as you can see, this is 32-bit. So we change it to 64 and debug 64. So after you change it here, you go and right click and properties. For the C++ directory, you go to the include and add the include of the OpenCV. Make it here, OpenCV include. Okay, for the library, you also need to go and add the library, which means the lib folder of the OpenCV. The lib folder is a here lib. Okay. For the linker input, we must add the debug. This is for the debug because ended with D. So we add this. This is the library of OpenCV. So okay. Now we can test the program. For the release mode also same, but doesn't end with D. And here is the test program. And here at the path of your image, we must find the image and put it here. We have one image OpenCV logo inside the OpenCV, and we want to show this logo. So we add the path here and the name of the file .jpg. If you use a slash is 1. If you use backslash, you need to use 2. Okay, now we run the program. You will see the logo of the OpenCV. Okay. Now we are moving to using Cafe and TensorFlow library. For the Cafe and TensorFlow train model, we can use inside the OpenCV without requirement of the Cafe or TensorFlow compiled in your laptop or PC. You just need to download the model and using inside your project file, OpenCV project. So we go for Cafe model. We can download the pre-trained model of the cafe. This is Google Net cafe model, trained based on 1000 image for classification, and you can